Y'all, what's going on? Tech Me out here, and you know, we got to get into that Apple event recap. And more specifically, this is going to be about the iPhone 13 lineup. So I'm gonna break this down in a couple of different sections. New features on the iPhone 13 lineup. Of course, my thoughts. We're gonna talk about if you should upgrade, and I also asked you all on Instagram, you know, for your thoughts of the new iPhone 13 lineup. So I'm gonna be reacting to those. Let's get into this, y'all. Now, for those of you that just want that real quick abbreviated version, for the entire iPhone 13 lineup, you'll find improvements with a better camera in reference to hardware and software, because you now have something known as cinematic mode and photographic styles, which I'm gonna dive into later in the video. The batteries are also much better, much larger. The devices are overall faster, so you're gonna have better performance. You now have a new base and top storage option, a better display because now they get brighter. We also have ProMotion on the Pro models. Those are most of the improvements in a nutshell. Now, the first two phones we're gonna talk about are the iPhone 13 and 13 mini. So these are kind of like the two entry-level phones. Still great performers, but they're the least expensive of the new iPhone 13 lineup. So the 13 mini starts off at $699, and the iPhone 13 is gonna be $799. And like I said earlier, we have these new storage options. So the base model is now 128 gigabytes, which God knows is necessary and overdue, because with these camera upgrades, you're gonna need a device that can hold that type of footage. Now, these colors, we now have pink, blue, midnight, starlight, and red. Now, out of these, I really like the starlight. It just, I don't know, it's like a white, off-white, kind of creamish look to it to me. I'm really interested to see that in person. And if you see me looking off over here, my screen's over here, y'all, so pay me no mind. Another design difference is that it now has a smaller notch on the display, so still there, but less there. Now, the iPhone 13, it has a 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR display, whereas the iPhone 13 mini has a 5.4-inch Super Retina XDR display. So in short, same size and specifications as the iPhone 12 and 12 mini. We also still have that durable ceramic shield display, which y'all, I can attest to. I know they say it's more durable, but it really is, because I definitely have dropped my phone on more than one occasion and thankfully have been spared, and I don't feel like I would have had that same luck with previous models. I haven't had that same luck with previous models. It's also water resistant. The button placement also appears to be the same. Still got that lightning connector. Y'all, I would love to see USB-C on an iPhone. I'm gonna just say that, I'm gonna just put that out there. So I know you're like, okay, how can someone tell then that I have the iPhone 13 and not the iPhone 12? One is the camera layout on the back. They're now diagonal, and outside of that, the new colors. It's a new shade of blue. This one definitely looks lighter, more muted. You have a wide and ultra wide lens along the back. Both of those are 12 megapixels. The thing that has improved here is like the finer details of the camera. Like with these, you should be able to get more detail in dark areas of your photos. The wide camera has been improved so that it can capture up to 47% more light, which is gonna give you better photos and videos. Plus, on top of that, all of the lenses have sensor shift optical image stabilization. So it's not just offered on specific lenses anymore, which, trust me, on an iPhone makes a difference, because the stabilization on the 12 lineup is nuts, insane. Another new feature with the iPhone 13 lineup is macro mode. But the nice thing with this though is that it activates automatically. It's not a separate setting that you have to navigate to. You basically use any of the lenses because it works with all of the rear lenses. So as you're holding your phone and you get in closer to that item, it's just gonna automatically shift and really captures some insane details of that item, like textures, little fine hairs. And when we come over to the front-facing camera, we now have 4K 60 frames per second being offered up there instead of just 30 frames per second. Now, cinematic mode, this is something that's gonna be offered on all of the iPhone 13s. I really love this feature, and I can't wait to test it out, because it offers a technique that, you know, filmmakers typically use, which is called rack focus. So what that means is basically shifting the focus from one subject to another. And it's done in movies to kind of help guide the viewer's attention to a specific area. You probably don't even notice that it's happening when it happens, but now you might be paying a little bit more attention. But it doesn't stop there, because cinematic mode can also anticipate when a prominent new subject is about to enter the scene and automatically shift focus when they do. But where this really stands out, y'all, is that you can adjust the depth effect in terms of what it focuses on, as well as the intensity of the blur, not only while you're filming, but after as well. And that's something that even this Sony a7S III that I'm filming with right now does not allow me to do. That my iPhone will. So that's nice that you can kind of fine tune not only what's in focus, but how much the intensity of the blur is as well. And I'm personally looking forward to that because there are instances where I will use my phone over my camera. It just all depends on the scenario, simply for ease of access and the dynamic range that this offers. But the one thing that would be missing when I would do that is the beautiful blurred effect that you see right here, even in my background. I would lose that sometimes when using my phone. So now to have cinematic mode to solve that issue. Now the other new thing that we have across the iPhone 13 lineup is photographic styles. Photographic styles are different than, filters, because with photographic styles, it's gonna selectively apply adjustments to the right areas while also preserving skin tones. And it's smart enough to do things like boost or mute colors while keeping your skin tones natural. So you can choose vibrant to make photos bright and vivid, or select rich contrast for darker shadows and deeper colors, or use warm and cool to accentuate golden or blue undertones. Now the internals and the battery, y'all, here's where it gets even better, especially for my battery consumers. The iPhone 13 mini now lasts 1.5 hours longer than the iPhone 12 mini, and the iPhone 13 now lasts 2.5 hours longer than the iPhone 12. That's a nice little bump. You're gonna feel that difference. You're gonna notice that difference. And then inside of the phones, they now have an A15 Bionic chip, which is gonna mean faster and better performance. And there are also more 5G bands so that you can get 5G speed in more places. Now on an off note, but on note, something else that's new that I like is new MagSafe cases and Find My being integrated into the MagSafe wallet. So that way when your phone is separated from the wallet for a specific amount of time, you can get a notification and also locate it on the map to figure out where it is. Anybody ever lost their wallet? The panic, y'all. Oh my God. I've actually lost my wallet in 2 areas that I didn't know if I would get it back from. And that was in Walmart and the mall. But there's some good people out there because I got my wallet back and everything was in it. But now with Find My, you can know where it is at all times. A lot of the things that are offered in the 13 and 13 mini are going to be offered into the Pro models as well. But the distinct differences with these versus the smaller ones can be found within the camera. There are also exclusive color options for the Pro lineup. And of course, these phones are going to be bigger in terms of battery, display size, and storage. The camera layout here is the same. You still have your wide, ultra wide, and telephoto lens. Now those exclusive colors, you can get the Pro lineup in either silver, graphite, gold, or Sierra blue for both models. Now, if you know me, I lean to the gold, but the Sierra blue doesn't look bad, but I don't know, y'all. Which one do you like better? That blue look good. We got surgeon blue going on, y'all. Now, other improvements with the 13 Pro lineup can be found in the display. So it's the same display size as the 12 Pro lineup, except the 13 lineup has ProMotion. And if you're not familiar with ProMotion, basically now with the 13 Pro lineup, your screen is gonna have something known as an adaptive refresh rate. So it's gonna automatically adjust the refresh rate based on what you're doing up to 120 Hertz. So when you combine that with the new A15 chip inside of this, everything seems to be even more responsive. Like if you're drawing or writing, it's really moving, in line and in sync with your fingers. So if you have an iPad Pro, especially the newer ones, you're basically now gonna have that experience on your phone. Now, even though the type of cameras that you have on the back are the same, it's improved on the 13 lineup as they can now bring in more light and details. So when you're capturing, those ultra wide photos especially, you'll be able to capture better photos in more challenging lighting situations. And when it comes to the battery for these, so the iPhone 13 Pro is gonna offer 1.5 more hours than the iPhone 12 Pro. And the iPhone 13 Pro Max is gonna offer 2.5 hours more of battery life than the 12 Pro Max. So when I'm seeing that I can now get up to 28 hours of video playback instead of 20 hours on the 12 Pro Max, I'm like, what? This is, like they said in the keynote, this is the longest battery life that they've ever offered in an iPhone. And I can definitely agree. I know I enjoy the battery on the iPhone 12 Pro. So to know that it's even better on the 13 Pro, and if I jump up to the 13 Pro Max, my gosh, your girl, I'm gonna be set. Now the iPhone 13 Pro Max, it starts off at $1099 for the base model, and for the 13 Pro, it's gonna start off at $999 for the base model. Now the entire iPhone 13 lineup is available for pre-order starting on September 17th and will be available starting on September 24th. Now, the big question, should you upgrade? If you have an iPhone 12, I feel you can sit tight for this one. Unless there's a distinct feature being offered on the iPhone 13 lineup that you feel you have to have, I feel like you can sit tight. Because especially when you think about it, like when iOS 15 rolls out and it brings those new features to the earlier devices, it's gonna refresh the feeling of the phone in general. It's gonna make it feel new again, you know? Now for the older devices, like the ones that barely made the cut for the iOS 15 update, those especially, putting iOS 15 on your phone could put you in a position where you might find yourself wanting to, you know, upgrade even more so that you can have the latest hardware to power the latest software. Now for iPhone 11 owners and earlier, especially those with earlier devices, I do feel it's worth upgrading. Although in ways this does feel like a kind of S iteration of the 12 lineup, there's still many improvements across a lot of different areas. And if you ask me out of the lineup, which am I eyeing? I would say the 13 Pro, but I might lean to the 13 Pro Max. I don't know, like which iPhone would you like to see hands-on time with first? Let me know down below in the comment section, I'm curious. Now I did ask you all on Instagram for your thoughts of the iPhone 13 lineup, so I'm gonna go through these real quick and see what you all said. I Am Dorito says still no USB-C. I know, yeah, I know I was really disappointed about that too. I expected it not to be there, but I hoped it would be, you know? Simray said, I like the Pro's features, but unfortunately dislike all the colors. Really? I don't dislike all the colors. Stefan Argent, I feel like I'm messing that name all up, said iPhone 12s, you mean? Shots fired. Jeremiah said same as the iPhone 12. I'm seeing a lot of people feeling like these are too much like the iPhone 12s. Monroe 30 said it makes me want a Galaxy. One White Gato, I feel like I'm screwing your names up. I'm so sorry. Said already pre-ordered, moving up from the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Okay, good move. I think you're gonna have a good time. Just Matt Gray says need, okay? I don't know, it seems like a mixed crowd here. Mitch 1022 said yes, I'm keeping my mini. Okay, so I was taking you're not upgrading. Are you? Y'all in these claps. Said where is my purple iPhone Pro? You meant that, I felt that. Honey, if you're not getting the 13 or putting the skin on the Pro, it ain't gonna be this year. Tyler Kunz said, I'm only upgrading from my 12 because the trade-in value is more than what I paid for it. Speaking of, Apple is offering up to $1,000 of trade-in value when you turn in an iPhone or an Android phone. That is a lot of money off, y'all. Now, although I'm looking forward to the iPhone 13 lineup, I think I might be more excited about iOS 15. I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna throw on screen now some videos that you're welcome to check out. But be sure to drop any questions that you have about the iPhone 13 lineup down below in the comment section because I would love to answer them because I do plan on checking out these new iPhone 13s. But that's gonna do it, y'all. As always, thanks for taking the time out to let me tech you out.